She broke up but insisted, "We're too important to lose contact." I agreed completely. The way she said it during our picnic at the botanical gardens should have told me everything I needed to know about what was coming next. I'm Noah, a freelance graphic designer who specializes in restaurant branding, and I'd been with Ashley for 3 years, watching her juggle part-time work at a yoga studio while pursuing her dream as a life coach and mindfulness podcaster. I should have known something was brewing when she suggested we have this deep conversation surrounded by the tranquil energy of nature, complete with her ceremonial sage bundle and crystal collection arranged on our blanket like we were conducting some kind of spiritual intervention. "Noah, I've been doing a lot of soul-searching lately," she began, her voice taking on that ethereal tone she used during her guided meditation sessions. "And I've realized that I need to realign my energy and manifest my authentic self." I nodded, recognizing the buzzwords from her latest certification program. "I think we need to step back from the romantic aspect of our relationship," she continued, reaching for my hand in that practiced way that suggested she'd rehearsed this speech. "But we're too spiritually connected to lose contact completely. Our bond transcends conventional relationship boundaries." The irony wasn't lost on me that she was breaking up with me while emphasizing how important I was, especially since I'd been covering about 85% of our shared apartment rent in Austin while she contributed irregularly between her wellness retreats and certification programs. I could see her strategy clearly: maintain all the benefits of having me in her life while eliminating any actual commitment or accountability. "You know what, Ashley? You're absolutely right," I said, surprising her with my enthusiasm. "We are too important to lose contact." "I completely agree." The relief that washed over her face told me she'd expected resistance, maybe even begging. Instead, I was already planning my own definition of what meaningful contact would look like, and something told me it would be quite different from what she had in mind. Within 72 hours, I delivered what I considered the most meaningful contact possible: complete honesty about our financial reality. I knocked on Ashley's door Tuesday morning with my laptop and a cheerful smile, ready to share some important information about our living situation. "Hey, since we're maintaining our spiritual connection but evolving past romantic entanglement, I wanted to let you know I'll be relocating to a smaller studio apartment," I announced, pulling up apartment listings on my screen. "I found this amazing minimalist space that's perfect for my design work, and I'll be moving out by month's end." The color drained from her face faster than water from a cracked meditation bowl. "Moving out? But what about the lease? What about our home?" Our home that I'd been funding while she attended weekend workshops on manifesting abundance. "Well, only my name is on the lease, so I'll honor my commitment through this month, but after that, you'll need to handle the full $1,850 monthly rent independently," I explained, showing her the rental agreement on my laptop. "Plus utilities, groceries, and I assume you'll want to continue your life coaching certification program, which runs about $350 monthly." I watched her do the math against her inconsistent $28,000 annual income from the yoga studio, and her serene spiritual facade crumbled like a house of cards in a hurricane. "Noah, you can't just abandon me like this. What happened to supporting each other's growth? What about our sacred connection?" Her voice cracked with genuine panic. "I'm not abandoning you at all," I replied, maintaining my cheerful tone. "I'm supporting your growth by believing in your ability to manifest the financial abundance you've been working toward. This is your chance to prove that all those prosperity meditations actually work." Our neighbor Felix, a graduate student who rented the adjacent unit and worked nights at the local bookstore, later told me he'd been witnessing Ashley's panic-induced meditation sessions through the thin walls, complete with frustrated crying that definitely wasn't part of any guided practice she'd ever streamed. Over the next week, Ashley oscillated between guilt-tripping me about abandoning our sacred connection and genuine terror about potential eviction, while I maintained perfectly cheerful contact through daily inspirational text messages, sending you abundant energy for your financial manifestation journey. And, remember, the universe only gives us challenges we can handle. Meanwhile, I systematically moved my computer equipment and design materials to my new efficient studio space, feeling lighter with each box I carried out. The best part was watching her realize that maintaining meaningful contact didn't automatically include me solving all her practical problems, especially when she discovered that spiritual connections don't actually pay rent. From my efficient new studio, I began receiving urgent requests for assistance that had previously fallen under my automatic boyfriend duties, and I discovered that meaningful contact meant providing exactly the support I'd give any casual acquaintance. When Ashley's ancient laptop crashed the night before a major client presentation for her life coaching practice, her frantic call came at 11:47 p.m. with tears and genuine desperation. "Noah, I know it's late, but my entire presentation is on this computer and it won't even turn on. I have that big corporate wellness consultation tomorrow morning, and if I lose this client, I'm completely screwed financially." In the old days, I would have driven over immediately with my technical expertise and backup equipment, probably staying up all night to rebuild her presentation from scratch. Instead, I responded with genuine compassion and practical resources. "That sounds incredibly stressful, Ashley. Here are 3 computer repair shops that offer emergency services," I texted, along with links and phone numbers. "I'm also sending you a tutorial on cloud backup systems so this doesn't happen again. You've got this." Her follow-up calls went unanswered, not out of cruelty, but because I was maintaining the same boundaries I'd have with any friend who expected me to drop everything for their technological emergencies. 2 weeks later, her rescue dog Sage escaped during a thunderstorm while she was hosting a virtual meditation session, and her panicked call interrupted my client meeting. "Sage is missing and I can't find him anywhere. He's terrified of thunder and he could be hurt or lost forever." Her voice was raw with genuine fear. I felt real sympathy for her situation. I'd always loved that dog, but meaningful contact meant believing in her capability to handle pet emergencies independently. "I'm so sorry to hear about Sage. That must be terrifying," I responded. "I'm sending you contact information for all the local animal shelters and the phone number for Austin's Lost Pet Hotline. There's also a really active Facebook group for finding missing dogs that I'll link you to." What I didn't do was abandon my client presentation to join the search party, though I genuinely hoped Sage would return safely. The most telling request came when Ashley asked me to watch Sage during her weekend spiritual retreat in Sedona. "I know this is a big ask, but you're the only person he really trusts, and boarding facilities disrupt his energy flow." I responded by sending her links to 3 highly rated pet boarding facilities with excellent reviews and reasonable rates, along with a heartfelt message about how this would be a great opportunity for Sage to socialize with other dogs. Her response revealed everything about her expectations. "I can't believe you're making me pay for pet sitting when we used to take care of each other's needs naturally." The fact that she called her demands my needs, while expecting me to meet all of hers, told me everything about how she'd always viewed our relationship. My connection with Ashley's best friend Taylor began organically when she reached out privately to check on my well-being after the breakup, having always admired my calm demeanor during their group gatherings over the past year. Taylor worked as a veterinary technician and volunteered at the animal rescue where Ashley had adopted Sage, and I'd always appreciated her scientific mind and genuine compassion during our casual interactions at dinner parties and game nights. "Hey Noah, I know things ended weirdly with Ashley, and I just wanted to make sure you're doing okay," she texted 3 weeks after I'd moved out. "I've always thought you handled her drama with impressive patience, and I hope you're taking care of yourself." Her message felt refreshingly direct after months of Ashley's cryptic spiritual communication, so I suggested we grab coffee to catch up properly. What started as a simple wellness check transformed into a 3-hour conversation at this cozy cafe downtown, where we discovered shared passions I'd never known we had. Taylor's genuine excitement about animal welfare matched my own love for rescue dogs, and her collection of vintage vinyl records rivaled my own carefully curated selection of jazz and indie albums that I'd been collecting since college. "I have to admit something," she said, laughing as we compared notes about our mutual frustration with social media performativity. "I used to get secondhand embarrassment watching Ashley post those staged meditation photos while you were clearly doing all the actual work behind the scenes." Her honesty was refreshing after years of pretending Ashley's lifestyle content wasn't completely manufactured. Over the following 6 weeks, Our friendship evolved naturally as we discovered how much we genuinely enjoyed each other's company without any ulterior motives or financial expectations. Taylor appreciated my authentic communication style, actual conversations about real topics instead of surface-level spiritual platitudes, while I was drawn to her scientific approach to problem-solving and her compassionate nature with both animals and people. She never once asked me for anything beyond my company and conversation, which felt revolutionary after 3 years of constant requests and demands. Our first official date happened almost by accident when we spent an entire Saturday afternoon browsing vinyl records at Waterloo Records, followed by dinner at a quiet farm-to-table restaurant where we talked until they literally turned the lights up and started stacking chairs around us. "This is probably terrible timing," Taylor said as we walked to our cars, "but I have to say I've had more genuine fun today than I've had in months." I realized I felt the same way, and for the first time since Ashley's botanical garden speech, I was genuinely excited about the future instead of just relieved about escaping the past. The irony wasn't lost on me that Ashley's insistence on maintaining contact had inadvertently led me to discover what authentic connection actually felt like. Facing imminent eviction, Ashley desperately advertised for a roommate on multiple platforms, eventually accepting Brad, a wannabe influencer and personal trainer who promised reliable income from his growing online fitness empire, but whose main revenue seemed to come from his parents' credit card. Felix filled me in on the situation during one of our occasional chats when I stopped by to pick up mail that was still being delivered to my old address. "Dude, you dodged a bullet with this new guy," Felix said, shaking his head with amusement. "He moved in promising to pay rent on time, but so far he's bought 3 ring lights, a professional microphone setup, and enough protein powder to supply a small gym." Within 3 weeks, Brad had transformed the apartment into his personal content studio, leaving protein powder residue coating every surface in the kitchen, hosting loud workout live streams at dawn that had neighbors filing noise complaints, and consistently forgetting his rent contribution while purchasing expensive camera equipment and supplements that arrived daily like Christmas morning. The guy films these shirtless workout videos in the living room at 6 a.m., Felix reported with barely contained laughter. Ashley tries to maintain her Zen morning routine, but you can hear her passive-aggressive meditation music getting louder and louder to compete with his motivational shouting. I genuinely felt bad for Ashley's situation, but I also recognized that she'd chosen the first person who responded to her desperate Craigslist ad without doing any background checks or asking for references. Felix confided that Ashley now spent most nights stress-eating ice cream while maintaining her peaceful wellness persona on social media, desperately trying to hide her crumbling living situation from her coaching clients who paid for guidance on creating abundant, balanced lives. She posts these serene apartment photos, but she has to angle the camera to avoid showing Brad's gym equipment taking over the dining room, Felix observed. "Yesterday I heard her crying during what was supposed to be a live meditation session because Brad was doing bicep curls in the background. The breaking point came when Brad accidentally flooded the bathroom during a shower routine video demonstration, causing water damage to the unit below and prompting furious calls from both the property management company and the affected neighbors. When Ashley contacted me begging for help with the landlord negotiations, claiming she didn't understand the legal terminology and needed someone with business experience to advocate for her, I gently reminded her that maintaining meaningful contact meant believing in her ability to handle landlord relationships independently. I have complete faith that you can navigate this situation, Ashley. Think of it as an opportunity to practice those conflict resolution skills from your coaching certification, I texted back, along with a link to Austin's tenant rights resources and the contact information for free legal aid services. Ashley's discovery of my relationship with Taylor occurred when she unexpectedly visited Taylor's veterinary clinic seeking comfort about Brad's latest disaster, only to find me there during my lunch break bringing Taylor homemade soup while she recovered from a minor surgery on her hand. I'd been stopping by daily with meals since Taylor couldn't cook properly with her bandaged hand, and we developed this comfortable routine of eating lunch together in the clinic's break room while she told me amusing stories about her patients. "Noah? What are you doing here?" Ashley's voice cut through our conversation like a record scratch, her face cycling through confusion, realization, and something that looked like genuine betrayal. Taylor and I were sharing a container of butternut squash soup I'd made the night before, and I was telling her about this ridiculous logo request from a client who wanted their restaurant to convey both rustic authenticity and futuristic innovation, when Ashley appeared in the doorway. The sight of our comfortable intimacy, the way Taylor automatically handed me her spoon to try the soup, how we finished each other's sentences about her difficult parakeet patient, our inside jokes about her coworker's obsession with exotic snake care, created an immediate realization for Ashley that our relationship had deep roots extending far beyond whatever timeline she'd constructed in her mind. "How long has this been going on?" she demanded, her spiritual composure completely abandoning her. "You two have been sneaking around behind my back this entire time, haven't you?" Her voice carried that particular pitch of someone whose worldview was crumbling in real time. "Ashley, we started spending time together after you and I broke up," I explained calmly. "There was no sneaking involved. We're both adults who developed feelings naturally." But Ashley's reaction escalated from shocked silence to explosive accusations about betrayal and deception, demanding to know every detail of our relationship timeline while conveniently forgetting her own Tinder adventures that had started within a week of our breakup. "This is exactly what I'm talking about," she shouted, pointing between us like we were exhibits in a courtroom. "You've been planning this whole thing. You probably encouraged the breakup so you could swoop in and steal my best friend." Taylor's attempts to explain the actual timeline fell on completely deaf ears as Ashley declared their friendship officially over before storming out of the clinic, nearly knocking over a display of flea prevention pamphlets in her dramatic exit. Within hours, Ashley had launched a social media campaign portraying herself as the victim of an elaborate deception, posting cryptic quotes about wolves in sheep's clothing and betrayal from those closest to you, conveniently omitting her recent flirtation with Brad and her active dating profile that Felix had screenshot and shown me weeks earlier. "I can't believe she's acting like we conspired against her," Taylor said that evening, still processing the confrontation. "She literally broke up with you to find herself, then gets angry when you actually do find someone who appreciates you." The irony was perfect. Ashley had insisted we were too important to lose contact, never imagining that maintaining contact would lead me to discover what she'd been preventing me from finding all along. Brad's inevitable departure came after he accidentally started a small kitchen fire during a cooking with protein powder video, triggering the building's sprinkler system and causing water damage to multiple units, resulting in potential legal action from both the property management and affected neighbors who were demanding compensation for their damaged belongings. Felix witnessed the entire disaster unfold from his balcony and gave me a play-by-play that was both hilarious and tragic. He was trying to flambe protein pancakes for his followers when the whole pan went up in flames, Felix reported, barely able to contain his laughter. Ashley came running out of her room screaming about her laptop and vision boards getting soaked, while Brad just stood there filming himself apologizing to his 17 followers. The property management company immediately terminated both their leases, citing multiple violations including unauthorized commercial filming, noise complaints, property damage, and now fire safety hazards that could affect their insurance coverage. Unable to secure another roommate willing to overlook the apartment's damaged reputation and facing mounting debt from potential lawsuits, Ashley lost her security deposit, owed thousands in damages, and had to reluctantly move back with her parents in suburban Dallas, effectively ending her independent wellness guru image and forcing her to take a full-time retail job at Target to rebuild her finances and pay off her credit card debt. Meanwhile, Taylor and I had been building something genuine and sustainable that didn't require dramatic social media announcements or spiritual justifications. Our relationship flourished as we adopted a senior rescue dog named Murphy together, a gentle golden retriever mix who'd been overlooked at the shelter because of his age and minor health issues that we were perfectly equipped to handle with Taylor's veterinary expertise and my flexible work-from-home schedule. We combined our skills to create a volunteer program providing free pet photography for shelter animals, using my design background to create compelling adoption profiles that helped dozens of pets find homes while giving Taylor's rescue organization professional quality marketing materials. The program became so successful that local news featured our story, leading to new client referrals for my design business through Taylor's extensive veterinary network connections. Our partnership developed into cohabitation in a cozy duplex with a garden perfect for Murphy's gentle exercise needs and space for both my design studio and Taylor's continuing education pursuits as she worked toward her veterinary degree. We split expenses fairly based on our actual incomes, shared household responsibilities without keeping score, and supported each other's goals without expecting the other person to fund our dreams or solve our problems. 6 months after Ashley's dramatic exit from our lives, I received one final text from her asking if we could reconnect as evolved souls who've learned from their journey. I showed the message to Taylor, who just shook her head with amusement while scratching Murphy's ears. Some people never learn the difference between authentic connection and convenient assistance, she observed, and I realized that Ashley's insistence on maintaining contact had taught me exactly what that difference looked like.